It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS.
The thing that we talk a lot about on blue collar recruiting is so much like marketing. And we're talking about in recruiting in our division with my team, expectations at the beginning and at the end. So we've got the sales part of it, right? We go out and that's the first contact for the most part, whether that's automated or not. That's something that, it's so important to set expectations, because on the marketing and sales end, we like to brag a lot. We like to say we do all these great things. And then when we take it to the end of the funnel, which is, the actual production and execution of our services, does that match? And if it doesn't, that's the problem. And I think sometimes, automation, I guess maybe people obviously too, but does it, automation to me sometimes, and I think a lot of people that'll listen to this, how can you make automation fit the masses? And because that's one of the things that helps us grow and be able to manage that growth, which is always important, right? Everybody can grow. Maybe if my dad's a millionaire and he gives me all his money, I can probably grow, but I'm not going to be able to manage that growth. So automation's important with that. But how do you automate things? You talked about the chat bot or whatever, and how do you make that work to the masses?
Yeah, so one of the main things that we would do, and I completely agree with you, the sale is clearly very important, but you definitely need to keep up that persona all throughout it. So very, very simple stuff, but an example that comes to mind is every single snow removal company in our area wasn't talking to their customers. A lot of these were kind of more construction type guys that, did some residential, but were mainly commercial. So just communicating with your customers, whether it's through automations or not, really, really helped that process. For example, during a really hectic snowstorm, letting people know where you were, when you were coming, what the expectations were per storm was really, really huge for us. And we actually kind of did a spin on what people normally do with their GPS systems. You kind of track your vehicles and stuff internally. We actually opened up our GPS to our customers.
Wow.
Once we reached a certain volume, you obviously can't please everybody. So the amount of requests that were coming in per storm, we're just getting so much that we thought, okay, if we're going to continue this rate of growth, we got to do something to really limit those requests. And basically the request every time was, hey, where are you guys? Even if we were down the road, I'm sure you guys know, sometimes a phone conversation isn't 30 seconds long, right?
It's not quick. It's not quick when you get Debbie,
Exactly.
who's just looking for somebody to talk to.
Exactly. And we love the Debbies, but those phone calls definitely translate into a 30-minute phone call all of a sudden when you have better stuff to do, right? So we kind of ingrained in our customer's mind, hey, we're dispatching our tractors. Here's your tractor number. Here's the GPS. Take a look at it. And we basically decreased the amount of requests that were actually coming in by about 50% that year, which was huge. It wasn't like a flawless rollout by any means, but just little things like that you can do. Not necessarily automations, but what aren't your competitors doing, and just implementing that. Doesn't need to be rocket science. Definitely goes a long way.
Right. Now, do you? I guess it's sort of the same situation with Blue Skies in that we, our genesis is cleaning. That's who we are. We're kind of the blue collar guys and gals that go out and clean houses, clean windows, gutter clean, and all those sorts of things. And that's what we've done for years. And I've, had a business for 20 years doing it before I got together with Blue Skies. And then all of a sudden we got this demand with recruiting and bookkeeping and things like that from our colleagues, our peers in the industry. So talk a little bit about that transition. And this is why I like to have people like you on, Dylan, is because it's not just somebody that, I'm a marketing guy and I can market and do things for everybody, or I can do things for this or that. And they never really scrubbed a floor or shoveled snow or blew snow in your case. And that sort of thing. So I like that you came from that business, that industry, and you worked really hard and got to where you are today. And now you're providing services for the industry. And I love that part because that's so aligned with our story. So talk a little bit more about, that transition and why did you decide that you wanted to go from that business and that blue collar company you had to what you're doing today?
Yeah, for sure. So that was definitely an important transition. So I was always kind of interested in the business side of it. Like obviously the operational side is 90% of it. You need to execute and actually perform a good service. But I love the operations, the marketing, everything like that. And definitely got my hands dirty filling in for people doing 36-hour snow removal shifts. So I'm kind of glad that chapter is past a little bit.
Shift.
Yeah, for sure. There's always a couple golden ones like that. So, good memories for sure. But definitely want to just kind of like help small businesses. A lot of them, everybody thinks their business is unique and some definitely are extremely unique, but a lot of them are going through the same things that I went through. And some of the businesses we deal with were much larger than what I ever got to, but the same problems still persist. And the issue that people have is when you're in your business, you're just head down often, focusing on just, keeping the door open, doing the things that you need to do day in, day out. And it's really, really nice to have like a 30,000 foot view of this business and be able to kind of help them and guide them in the proper way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, business nerd? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned a heck of a lot watching that episode. Do me a favor, subscribe right down here. And if you really like what you saw, you got more goods right here. Check out this one or check out this one and do this. Go subscribe. Appreciate you. Work smarter, work harder, go earn yourself some pride. Catch you on the next one.